Hi guys, it's Chris. Welcome to another video on the channel. Just want to take a brief second to say thank you very much for checking this video out, and if you're new around here, please subscribe. Remember to hit the bell and like and comment. I really appreciate you guys checking the videos out and subscribing. It means a great deal to the channel. So today we've got a video for you, which is the locals final for last week. It is myself versus Connor. Both of us are on Floowandereeze, I believe, so we will give this a watch, and I'm going to give you some live commentary. Now, something you want to take into account is that we knew what each other were playing, so that was a big factor in our turn 1 boards, and also not prioritising barrier statue, obviously, because it does nothing. So I am on the left with the Thunder Dragon Colossus mat and the purple sleeves, and Connor is on the right with the red eyes mat and the yellow sleeves. You see I roll a 7 and he rolls a 3, so I get to decide if we go first or second. So this is round 4, both of us are undefeated. Connor did very well, so did I. Both undefeated, which is always good, regardless of the tier of event. So it looks like we're about to begin this bump. I'll start us off with terraforming, which I'm going to grab map. So map allows me to basically reach into any of my birds from the deck. So I activate map, revealing Eaglin. I believe I'm going to be banishing Robina. Yep, banish Robina, and then immediately normal summon that Eaglin, triggering the Eaglin more than likely as chain link 1 and Robina chain link 2, searching me out the M-Pen, and then immediately after that resolving the M-Pen, normal summoning Robina and using the effect searching Toucan. Normally you get the barrier statue there obviously, but it's not much point. And then immediately tribute summoning M-Pen and using M-Pen as chain link 1 and Eaglin as chain link 2, fetching the trap from deck. The trap obviously allowing me to normal summon on my opponent's turn during the main phase. Set 1, set 2, and we pass it back to Connor. Connor, I can see he's got a pot of duality and another pot of duality in hand, so let's see what he's going to get off the top here. So he reveals map, advent, and evenly not looking too good for me at the moment. So he puts those to the wise deck. I'm sure he's going to shuffle back shortly. After that resolves, I believe he tries to enter battle, but I trigger the normal summon Eaglin and trigger the Robina, and then try and get my Apex Avian on the board and get my Eaglin back to hand, and then Dark Rulers me, and then evenly a nightmare situation for me. I believe the other set I've got is Impermanence, and losing the Apex here is such a big thing. Like in the mirror, like Apex is so like pivotal. Like you need to be able to rotate it, keep it on the field as much as possible. So I end up getting rid of the field spell and Apex, favouring just being able to stop him. So I let him resolve Robina, and then after he goes to resolve Robina, normal summoning Eaglin on Eaglin I Imper, which I believe pretty much ends his turn, which is good for me because I've got follow up in hand. I no longer have the Apex Avian in rotation, which sucks for me, but yeah, he sets 2 and passes, so it's back to me. I'll draw for turn. I then evenly in myself, so I enter battle phase and go to evenly in myself. He keeps his singular set, which I'm guessing is very similar to me, and keeping a negate so he can stop me from playing. So I'm in main phase 2 now. Let's see what I try to do, and I'll do my best to keep up. So I normal summon Eaglin and use the effect search. Searching, I'm guessing another M-Pen here. Oh wow, search Riser, okay. And then immediately normal summon, I'm guessing the Robina, and then I'll use Robina probably to search the Stree that's left. Yep, Stree and Toucan in hand as well as the Riser. I'll normal summon the Stree and use the effect, banishing my Dreaming Town, and then summoning my Toucan to add back the Dreaming Town, and then immediately after that, normal summoning the Riser and using that effect, targeting the set himself, and I think I go to put what do I put on of the terraforming, so I have access to field spell if I don't manage to go back into my deck. I then set 2. Not a great turn for me. I'm still very rusty from the deck because I haven't been playing the deck very much. But he dualities again. Ash. Rabina, so he takes the Rabina. The Fissure, nice to see that in the main deck. Very good card against 2 elements at the moment, and a lot of other strategies. So we see a normal summon of Rabina is chain link 1 and Eagle is chain link 2. I then chain Impermanence, just to try and stop him getting any plays started. He needs access to field spell to actually be able to play them. He declares an attack on my Toucan, which obviously gets banished, and I believe he passes back to me. See if I do anything. So I decide to use that in the use Dreaming Town in the end of the main phase. Normal summoning Rabina and getting the Toucan back, searching the Empen. And then I normal summon the Eaglin, getting the Empen and adding back the Rabina and getting access to the Unexplored Winds, which is a very powerful card in the mirror. Now I start my turn by drawing. Activate the Unexplored Winds straight up. I think I get a bit lost in my turn here. I have too much to do. I put two back to the bottom of the deck with Explore Winds and draw 2 cards. I think one of those cards was Prosperity, so putting back the Eaglin, I believe, and the Rabina. Sorry, Eaglin and the Riser, drawing 2. I think I drew a Prosp and a Impermanence. But Impermanence being really good for the crackback against the mirror. Impermanence is just so good. Eaglin chain link 1, Eaglin chain link 2. Search the Riser back out. So good being able to put Riser back and just be able to loot resources. And then we Tribute Summon. Looks like a Riser again, using the effect of Riser. I'm guessing chaining one of the smaller birds also. Putting the Empen back because I believe both are engraved currently. Oh no, one's on field, one is engraved, my bad, and I run 2. If you saw the profile. I believe, yeah, Rabina gets banished here because it gets banished when it leaves the field. And I put back my Empen to the top of the deck, as well as returning himself to the hand. We almost forgot that. Most important part about looping Riser. Then attack for 2/7. Set a card. Main phase 2. Set another. And I pass. Connor draws. He goes normal summon Eaglin. Attempts to use the effect as chain link 1 and add back, I believe, a Rabina. I didn't quite catch that. But what's he going to search as his level 7? Oh yeah, searches an Empen. Seems correct. And then he goes to immediately normal summon Rabina to get a level 4 alert. I don't think I've got any responses at this time. I don't think I've got access to Imperm. He searches the Toucan so he can start looping his resources. What's he going to do now? So he's got an Advent in his hand, so he's going to Tribute Summon for the Empen that he searched. He's going to use Empen chain link 1, Eagle chain link 2. Get his access to Dreaming Town started. Dreaming Town, very important card. In general, in any match, you want to be seeing that card. Searching it out. Normally, if your opponent searches out Unexplored Winds or Field Spell, you know they've already got access to the trap because the trap is a priority, if you don't know by now. And if you want to get rid of it, I'd recommend doing it in the draw phase or the standby phase because the trap is main phase only. So at this point he tries to crash Empen entering the battle phase. He's going to be crashing his Empen into mine and he's going to try and trigger the effect of Empen. I believe that also forces me to use my Empen, which just resolves as us crashing. So I banish the Toucan from my hand and he banishes the Eaglin from his hand. He sets 2 and he passes back to me. So I draw for turn, then I Prosp, which I drew off the Explore Winds last time, which I couldn't use because you can't draw in the same turn. I banish 6, face down, revealing 6. What do we grab? We grab the field spell because we need access. If he doesn't have the access and I do, then we get to play. But on resolution, Connor uses Dreaming Town, normal summon Toucan, and adding back the Rabina and the Eaglin. And then normal summoning the Rabina, searching the Stree. And then normal summoning the Eaglin to search level 7 or higher. As much flack as this deck does get by just summoning Barrier Statue. The mirror is quite complicated, and I do enjoy the mirror quite a lot. I might see if Connor wants to play some more of this. But he uses Stree to banish his own Dreaming Town now, and then he normal summons. Oh, he tribute summons the Empen, and then uses Empen as Chaining 1 and Robina as Chaining 2, searching out his field spell, which fortunately for me he can't use. And then he tribute summons again for the Apex Avian, so Connor in a very commanding position now. I flip a set Dark Ruler No More, which is very well timed, and then activate my field spell, and revealing Robina, banishing Advent. I believe I've got access to all of my birds now, so it was a bit of a sticky one as to what I want to use. So I search Eaglin out of deck and add back the Toucan, and then I immediately tribute summon, sending my Robina and his set card, which was Advent, using Unexplored Winds, and then I search off Empen, another copy of the Will spell, just as follow-up, as if he removes mine, then I have another copy in hand. What do we do now? I think we are normal summoning off of the Empen resolution. I believe I was just thinking. We're still going, we're adding back the Empen, and then I'm tributing off his Apex Avian, which removes his looping of it, and also Empen's not once per turn, so I get to add an Advent. My hand's now pretty full of cards. Will I use the... I think I do use the extra normal summon from Empen. I might not though. I think my only out is either tribute summoning over it or just hitting over it again. Crashing. Yeah, I think we're going to be... I think my only card in hand that I can tribute summon though is Riser. So I could tribute... Looking back, I could have tributed the one Empen, because Empen can be used as a single tribute. I'm not sure why Connor used the effect in the damage step and getting rid of his field spell when it's such an integral card, given the effects were negated. I couldn't do any damage this turn, so he wasn't in danger of dying or getting close to dying. But I set another, which is probably the Advent that I drew, and Connor draws for turn. He activates D-Fissure, and then activates normal summons Robina. To Robina's effect, that he chains Toucan 2, I chain my field spell, normal summoning my Ostrich, which then he resolves his Toucan and Empen, and then I think he's going to resolve Robina, normal summoning Eaglin, and then getting back the Stree at the same time, whereas I'm going to attempt to resolve my Stree as Chaining 1 and Eaglin Chaining 2, banishing impermanence. And then tribute something for Riser. I realise now I could have interrupted his effects and allowing him to not get any access to monsters by tributing using Unexplored Winds and Riser, etc, etc, but I don't think it was the safest play, because that anytime you use Unexplored Winds to tribute summon out Riser, you lose the ability to loop it, because you can't return itself to hand. I think here I'm deciding what I want to spin back with Riser, and Connor is going to be adding back a card with Toucan, I can imagine. He also has Ostrich in hand, or Stree in hand, just something I need to note. I believe I also, well, I can just see now I've chained the field spell, which books all his monsters, allowing them not to be banished, because they have to be face up to be banished when they leave the field. Meaning that if it comes around to my turn, I manage to he manages to tribute over them, or I attack over them, they go to the grave, and it stops his recursion, which is great for me. So he's normal summoned the Stree, and he's going to use the effect to banish. I think he banishes his own Empen. The other reason to banish my own Dreaming Town is to get it back into rotation with my own Toucan, which is very good, needed for that. And Connor is now resolving his own Riser, getting rid of some of my resources, but I think Connor is always slightly too far behind now, and now he's lost his ability to loot Riser, because he got desperate with only one card in hand and losing out on the cards going to the back to the deck and grave because they were face down. Defissure is on the field, but at the same time I don't think that changed anything with them going banished or anything. So I draw for turn, passes back to me, and I use 2 contact back, and also Stree comes back, and then I true it off his Riser using my M-Pen, and then I go with M-Pen to search Advent, and then I summon my Stree out. Riser, yeah, Riser should be banished here from Defissure. I then go to attack, I think, and clear his monster, and then of course, yeah, Robina's still banished even though it's face down because Defissure. I think I'll just go for game here. Yeah, that's game 1. That game 1 lasted, I think, around half an hour. It was quite a long game 1. But yeah, we scoop it up and we go to game number 2. Going second in the mirror is sometimes quite favourable because putting in board breakers like Dark Rule No More and Evenly can really be pretty brutal on your opponent. Keeping Dreaming Town in as well, means you can go for Evenly, and if they do have the Harpy's Feather Storm, you can still set. But I don't think it'd be very rare for you to choose to go second, because just being able to go first and set up Harpy's Harpy's Feather Storm is just so strong, it's ridiculous. That's why in my side for this tournament I ran 3 copies in the sides along with 3 Trap Trick to fish it out, because I just want to see it, and having 6 more cards to dig back into your deck for it is insane. So Connor starts us off and activates Pop Duality, seeing M-Pen, Harpy's Feather Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, and Unexplored Winds. Taking the Unexplored Winds, surprisingly, that can't almost signal to me that he had access to the Feather Storm already. So he's going to go drawing here, turning off his Prost. So he puts back the Riser and normal summons the Robina. I remember Connor telling me actually that draw was the only way he could play, because that's the his cards were completely unplayable, and he drew the Robina, which is good for him. So he's doing the normal play of normal summoning the Eaglin, searching the M-Pen, summoning the M-Pen and searching the Advent, which kind of signals that he's already got access to the trap or the field spell. Not sure why you wouldn't search either of those there, but you know, Connor's not as experienced with the deck, but he's done really well with this tournament, going XO up until the last round. Passing over to me now, I, in the draw phase, trigger Cosmic Cyclone and hit the wrong one, unfortunately. I believe he had the trap, and I always seem to miss it in the mirror, so I pay 1,000 life points, which obviously we're getting closer to time now. I then use Evenly Matched, sucking up my battle phase, and then Connor manages to Ash my Terraforming, which is a fair enough play, but then as Ash is now used, I'm able to use my Advent to search out a starter in the form of Robina, banishing my Ostrich. And at the same time, Connor is using his Dreaming Town to search out, to summon out Robina, which he's going to add back the Eaglin, and also search out Stree, and also the Eaglin, searching out Avian, then trivia summoning Avian and adding back the Robina. I'll then go back to my turn and normal summon the Robina, adding back the Stree, and then adding the Eaglin. Not really much for me to do here. I was contemplating normal summoning. I was normal summoning the Eaglin and he gets stopped. Not really much more I can do here. I think at this point I'm just sort of seeing if Connor manages to mess up or not. And I think, yeah, grabbing the Harpy's Feather Storm. Harpy's Feather Storm kind of seals the deal for him in this match, and I have a lonely a lonely Robina, and he's about to do full combo, so I decided to scoop it up. I think we've only got about 3 or 4 minutes left on the clock now, so we quickly decide to go to game 3. I think I contemplate making him going first, and I'm just going to put the kitchen sink in for going second so I can attack, but then I think I I try and trick him and put my whole side deck into my main deck, and then take out the cards that I don't want. But I think at this point I decided to turn around and go with the going first strategy, and really decide in the kitchen sink for going first and putting in 3 Trap Trick, 3 Harpy's Feathered Storm, so we shuffle up as fast as we can. Both of us want to play a game 3. No one wants to lose in time really, especially because we're all pretty good friends at the pub locals. I start off with Prosperity, banishing 6, revealing 6. So I grab the Dreaming Town, allowing me to have access to any other of the Floowandereeze traps off Empen if I manage to get that far. I normal summon Empen. I think I start with Empen here because I had the Harpy's Featherstorm, and my thought was if it gets stopped then I can just set Harpy's Featherstorm and he can't play. At the same time, like we're going to timing, all you have to do is attack over me and I'd be losing. I search the Empen and the Toucan. I normal summon the Empen and add back both my banished birds and search the yeah, and that's time. I search the Advent, activate the Advent, and gain 500. Unfortunate, but yeah, just want to say really well done to Connor. He's not that familiar with the deck, and he did really well, especially against me, who's got a bit more experience with it. And I've actually not played that many mirrors, but they're very tricky and very hard to navigate, especially if both players are well versed in it. But yeah, that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching if you made it all the way to the end. Really appreciate all the support and love on the channel, guys, and I hope you have a fantastic day, evening, morning, night, wherever you are right now. Let me know if you liked the sound of the audio. Let me know if you liked this style of video, speeding up the games. I promise that my voice will hopefully get have a bit more characteristics soon, but I'm trying my best not to be monotone. But I do enjoy talking over these. Hopefully I can get better at it with enough practice. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell. I really appreciate all your support and love, guys. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers, guys. Bye.